Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be a counterpart check-in for soul connections, and we're going to look at what's going on for the masculines and the feminines and what's happening on each of the chakra levels in the connections. So what the theme of the real world circumstances that are affecting each of the chakras and the emotion connected with that, and how each counterpart is experiencing it. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for the masculines, the feminines on each of the chakra levels, and what the counterparts are experiencing in the connections at this time, in the union space, individually, in their own lives. What can we see? Last deck for the feminines, and then the connection space. I just saw the Ace of Swords for the feminines, which tells me that the feminines are seeing some truth that's setting them free right now. Some epiphany, some way of looking at things. Okay, connection space. What are the circumstances affecting both as it pertains to their connection, and the emotions being experienced on each of these levels regarding what the counterparts are aware of and navigating. Okay, crown chakra, so connection to source, what's happening? Self-love. Yeah, we have been getting this theme in the collective readings lately. So this is really seeing ourselves as worthy of love, but also, understanding that we love our person and they love us as much as we love them, but we've both been feeling rejected by the other one. Not in these connections. In these connections, it's actually more of a timid thing that we fear that the other one is put off. But when we come into alignment with self, it's like success with flying colors. Whenever we speak from our heart, whenever we are brave, whenever we put ourselves honestly with transparency and authenticity out there for our person, it's always met in these aligned connections with, that love and that support. When we're in misaligned connections, or if a connection isn't meant to align at a given time, there's resistance. But it's in aligned soul connections, it's not about, being rejected or not. These connections teach us to not take that personally and to manage our own energy. It is a sense of mastery to understand what is appropriate and where we can be accountable. And self-love also requires that we navigate with all of our heart and do our best. So, putting that love into ourselves, it's less about what the other person thinks of us or whether they're rejecting or accepting us, and more about, are we doing our best? Are we in alignment? Are we being accountable, responsible with the energy? Oh my gosh, what's the emotion that we're all navigating here? Envy. I'm the same as everybody with different challenges. So there is a great deal of love, but we have different circumstances that require that we love ourselves through whatever it is that we're dealing with. And, on this journey, divine timing is such that when these connections pull apart, typically it's because we have to navigate one of these said challenges. And it does give us an opportunity to just love ourselves through it unconditionally and have as much time as we need and go as deeply as we need to with our challenges so we can balance out. That is one of the most loving things we can do is, when our connection is repelling, to take that opportunity to work on ourselves, to elevate, to have a glow up, to come through karmic challenges, to feed ourselves the love that we were giving externally, and to really just let go of the control that allows for everybody to manage their energy in an honoring way. But what are the masculines experiencing here? Wow, okay, so Master of Crystals and the Hermit. So the masculines are in deep internal meditation on what they really want, what they have thought they wanted, what they thought commitment was. They're like revamping their idea of what is valid to commit to, what kind of person they want to show up in the world like. They're really giving it a deep consideration about how they've come across based in times when they didn't have as much self-love. With the Hermit in the inverse, it feels as though they're wanting to come out of their shell and try a new way of being that wasn't the expected or the predictive programming that caused them to come off as a player, as insecure, as not genuine, to not get the results that they wanted. They're really looking at becoming more self-focused with what they really want rather than playing games. What are the feminines experiencing? So this is on the crown chakra. So the masculines are getting these downloads or beginning to feel in the energy the opportunities to consider things with that focus. And the feminines, divine timing and healing the heartache. So feminines are giving their cares and worries to the divine. If they haven't been chosen, come into union, been fully accepted, and the love isn't like deepening in the physical, the feminines are letting go and letting God, and basically loving themselves enough to say they surrender to divine timing, and they're not trying to force it. They're trusting that it will come in due time, that it doesn't have to be panic mode to get through this stuff, that it can be compassionate, benevolent, that it is just the rate of development that's needed for sure footing, grounding, peace to come in. What can we see on the third eye chakra? Okay, there's something about to be revealed on a whole new level. With the Judgment card in the inverse, both counterparts are set in divine timing to see something in a way that they haven't before. And it has to do with worrying when there wasn't a need to worry at all. So I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So something you've been concerned about, both counterparts, is going to be revealed in the near future that it actually wasn't a concern at all. Like you got it wrong. You flat out misinterpreted something or worried about something that you had no business worrying about. A miracle is going to happen regardless. You know, in manifestation, there's so much pressure out there to keep thoughts positive and to, you know, say certain manifestos or mantras. This is basically saying you're going to be pleasantly surprised that something really good for you is coming in that you may actually not have had the faith, conscious belief that would happen. Something that is going to pleasantly surprise you, delight you beyond what you thought was possible. And you might not see it coming with your intuition. And it might be something that counteracts your fears in this situation. It might be grace coming in so that you're going to know that there is a higher power guiding these connections, that it's not just your ego manifesting things and maybe getting it right or wrong. There's going to be some beautiful abundance coming in, some kind of a blessing that you probably don't see coming, counterparts. How are the masculines dealing with this? Yeah, divine justice and the high priestess. This is saying you don't have to do anything, masculines. There's alignment bringing these things in. You don't have to directly, willfully, you know, manifest a specific outcome. This is saying that something is coming into alignment that you haven't even consciously seen available in that sort of way. And for the feminines, okay, you don't have to communicate anything. Here's another show of alignment, the twin flame card, looking at this star of destiny. So it feels like without you even having to say a word, lift a finger, something's going to come right into home base is what I heard. You don't have to worry. It's coming together. There's something coming together. So this could be bumping into your person. This could be a circumstance in your lives that brings you together that you didn't see coming, nothing you have to manufacture. It's going to just happen. And you don't, neither of the counterparts see this coming the way that it's going to roll out. And so it's interesting that on the third eye, we're getting a little bit of reprieve. We're being told, don't worry, something's going to work out, whether you're conscious of it or not. The hand of the divine is going to be involved. On the throat chakra, what do we see? The Emperor. So we just got this for a mini read today, and this is about things being right how they're supposed to be. And you might not be fully aware of that. So all this work you've been doing has been bringing you into alignment. You are exactly in the position that you need to be at this time. You're right where you're supposed to be. And self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So it's like you're just caring about your business, doing what you're being guided to do, but you don't see how much you just doing you is actually bringing in the alignment of these connections. What are the masculines in the energy of? Princess of Cups. That's the surrender to just, being diligent in the physical. This is the card of the 3D. So masculines, this is you having the right attitude and just really with a glad heart, with gratitude, doing what's needed every day, seeing your big picture, kind of having a feeling for what's a fit for you, what feels aligned, what feels kind, what feels right for you to focus your energy, time, resources into every day. And this deep sense of trust that you'll get there somehow, that surrendering to letting your life unfold naturally is where it's at, and that it is just going to keep revealing to you the way it needs to. So this is everything's under control, and you're also becoming more empowered, that enough good things are starting to happen that you don't have to be hyper vigilant. You can just let things play out in the physical. What can we see for the feminines? Okay, Prince of Swords again. So without having to communicate anything, I just heard you're going to get your own sense of closure. So that doesn't mean that an apology from a person might not be nice. It doesn't mean that there's finished business. It doesn't mean that the things that have played out in your connections, karmic connections, or this one won't be ever talked about again, but there's some way of looking at things that doesn't concern your person, that has to do with your own sense of self-esteem and empowerment. Like when you know your worth, you have this light bulb moment that does not take actions personally that your person has done or said in the past, and you completely come out of resentment and holding it against them or feeling put off by them in any shape or form. It's like it clicks and you're like, wow, I can't believe I took that personally, when it was just my dear person struggling and I made it about me instead of having compassion. Something like that. It's like you have had to go through this process, this history with this person and other people in your developmental stages, where your worth, your self-esteem has come to the forefront, and you're able to let other people just be them. If it aligns, then you're grateful. If it doesn't, and your conscience is clear, you're not taking it personally, and you're allowing to each their own without judgment. It's not about whether you're worthy of being loved or not, that your person is either showing up or not. They have a life, they have struggles, they have challenges, they have decisions and preferences, and they're doing the best they can. And this is a game changer thought, that it hasn't been that you've been rejected, feminines. It's really this deep game changer awareness that it hasn't been against you. It's literally been the process of coming into our own, including your masculine coming into themselves, into their higher confidence, into their self-esteem. And it goes hand in hand when they're in their empowerment, when they are embodying all of these attributes and assets, and they understand their worth, then they can look you in the eye, then they can show up. But before that, it's not about you being worthy or not. It's about them being able to see things in certain ways and to believe in themselves, believe that they're worthy of love, to see those things in you that are worthy of loving, We're so self-absorbed, and in our wounding, we can't see beyond the immediate environment or challenges. Only when we come into the healing can we be generous and broad spectrum enough to hold space for the becoming of others. And so that very first card of not, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. We're not taking other people's challenges or difficulties personally anymore. We're allowing everybody and having that vote of confidence that we can all get through it. We can all manage our things. We don't need to be saved, that we've all got this capacity to go to source and heal and elevate and come out of short-sighted thinking and eye for an eye kind of thinking and judgment and condemnation and wounded back and forth. So this is beautiful on the throat chakra, because I'm just hearing, watch those victim storylines where you speak out things that sound like you're blaming or a victim of circumstances. All of it is full of opportunities to have wisdom and insight and clarity, and we don't need others to give us that acknowledgement. We can find that within ourselves, and it doesn't have to be an egoic thing. It doesn't have to be superior or inferior, those superiority or inferiority complexes. It can just be what it is, and we can just have compassion. So there's a new way of communicating these things with very fundamental balanced energy, that it's not pitting one against the other. It's a work in progress all around for humanity. What can we see on the heart space that's playing out? 6 of Wands. So there is this continued progression to overcome the karmic battles and come into, you know, being transparent in full broad daylight with just living our authentic truth and being our full authentic selves, hanging out, doing whatever it is we do in any given day with whomever we hang out with, you know, that whole thing. There's no hiding. There's no need to change who we are behind closed doors or in public. There's this authentic, non-compartmentalized way of living where we're just integrating our full self in every walk of our daily life, our careers, our personal life, our home life, our public life. It's all the same authenticity coming to the forefront on the heart space. It's living fully, fiercely, and unapologetically as ourselves. And friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. In the inverse, your counterpart on the heart space is paramount in your progress this way, in the accountability, the mirror that they are through the lessons that you've learned together. It's more than friendship. It's a soul alignment. It's an affinity. It's so divine. It's so sacred. You could not have seen some of these core programs, karmic programs, and experiences with anybody else. It's not a coincidence that you're so drawn to this person and that they have captivated your awareness long enough for these particular heart walls to drop and these awarenesses to click and these growth inducing experiences to play out. It's not by chance. You're manifesting all of it. You're aligning with all of it. You are blessed by all of it. What can we see for the masculines here? Ace of Pentacles and 10 of Swords. So masculines are reaching rock bottom with something like a dead end street. It doesn't mean that they're in high disintegration. It just means on the heart space, they know that the only place to grow is a brand new way of being, this authentic self, and really being in gratitude for the people, places, and things that do align with this next level experience that's going to come out of leaving letting go of the broken templates, the fear, the struggle, the disintegration. When they let go of that, when they see the truth of how free, when you free yourselves, masculines, this new beginning comes in, where your feminine is more than friends, where you can hold your head high in broad daylight side by side and not fear that people who have no business telling anybody else how to live their lives are going to think poorly of your connection. No matter what your difference is, no matter what the stigmas are, people who have something to say about it are unhappy, and they are, maybe they're trying to make sense of it to try and determine how they can have love too. But if they're judging you, that's on them. That's not about you. Who does that? Who goes around doing that? Some well-meaning people gossip. They wonder how somebody can be and do the things they do, and they're drawn to it. But they're just trying to bring consciousness to it so they can understand why it deviates from the norm, why it's okay to do that, because they've been so imprinted by thinking things have to be a certain way that the only way that they can start to talk about those things is by being critical of it. And then maybe somebody can come in and share some truth that opens their mind a little bit. But it's on them. If people don't know how to ask questions to find out with more consciousness or understanding something that's unfamiliar to them, they may gossip or slander or try and approach it that way. But we're not meant to be hindered or fall victim to that kind of thing and disintegrate. That's on them, and ultimately they're just trying to gain understanding. They're just going about it in an underdeveloped way. And so masculines, you can let go of trying to make everyone happy or not rock the boat with certain people and step bravely into living your life in the way that feels truly honoring to you. This does have to do with coming out with the knowledge, the dropping the guard about this connection with your feminine on your heart space, being secret, being just friends, being less than what it is, downplaying it. That's changing as you let go of these oppressive energies that are just, in denser, confused energy for their own lives, looking for hope, looking for a way up. They're drawn to you because you're a superstar, masculines. They're drawn to you because you shine brightly, and they're like, who do you think you are? Because they want to know how they can be that too. It's not because they're judging you negatively for it. So get up out of feeling like you're being targeted in a bad way and have compassion on their souls. And, step into knowing that if you've caught their attention, it's because they have the potential to live a life that way. I'm like, somebody's going to say, preach, Meredith, in the comments, because this is really starting to click. So masculines, you must be actually like on the heart space saying, I'm going for it. I'm not going to hold back anymore for fear of rocking the boat. I'm gonna just do me, and if people don't like it, then so be it. They can go over there and figure their own stuff out. But you have had such a you've carried so much energy from others because you're so extraordinary, masculines. So it's partly your rite of passage as you step into the forefront, into your higher timelines, into the public eye, into alignment with your feminine. You are going to get more attention from people that you aren't used to having attention from. You're going to be stepping more out into service, out into making a difference, contribution in the world. This is sort of a rite of passage for you to up level through those paradigms that feel like all eyes are scrutinizing you. It's part of your rite of passage so that you can confidently own who you are and make a difference in the world. Because yes, people want to know what gives you the right and who do you think you are, because they want to learn how to do that too. Okay, feminines on the heart space, this more than friends, public awareness, kindness. Oh, the 10 of Swords for the feminines too. So feminines, you're specifically letting go of feeling rejected by your masculine and instead focusing on the moments, the morsels of time that do align. And so as your masculine is going through this clearing of, reputation or fear for what others would think and reputation, and they're really embracing the incredible power and potency they have for just being the exquisite being they are, they're coming into their own. And feminines, love them unconditionally for not having been there before, for not being able to show up for you because they couldn't show up for themselves. They didn't have the confidence this way. They didn't understand why people were so all up in their business. So be kind about this. They've had a huge burden to carry by not understanding how special they are and how important they are to so many people. They couldn't be that for you because they treated you how they treat themselves. And so feminines, have compassion. If you're in a place of understanding where you know this, have mercy on your masculine and get over your own insecurities that make it all about something wrong with you. Let go of that completely and just be in that peace, be in the knowledge that you have been holding down an absolute energetic balancing act to stay in your center, and time after time treat yourself with kindness and not, twist your storylines to make it that your masculine is rejecting you, or you've stuck with this for a reason because you've known that the love was there, but that something was off with why they weren't able to come forward. They've had to clear through this developmental stage where they've had to learn what energy is. They've had to come out of feeling like they are forsaken by the divine, or that they're going to be the odd one out if the herd mentality doesn't accept them into the fold. And you've had to stay as this beacon of the voice of the divine, the high priestess energy. You've had to be holding that in solitude, and you're coming through it with flying colors. But let go of all of the last remaining forsaken energy in you as well, and just allow this kindness to come in. This Page of Pentacles has been happening, coming up in readings repeatedly. So this is the glimmers. These are the new norms coming in. These are the new foundational ways of interacting with your counterpart. These are the sweet, simple things that make all the difference, the icebreakers, the new way of approaching things that isn't loaded with these extra influences and energies. Yeah, beautiful. What can we see on the solar plexus chakra? Open to what will come, I just heard. Two of Wands. This is really stepping out of the comfort zone and not assuming that we have all of the answers, or that change is bad, or that we're going to get pounced on. This is expecting delight. This is getting ready for the goodness to come in. And fear in the reverse. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So get ready. Good things are coming. This is the empowerment. One of the masculines having come up here. Surrendering to the self-love, and Three of Swords, Lord of Sorrow. So you can't change the past, but you can change how you look at it and how you love yourself despite the past. So you can forgive self and other. You can see that, hurt people, but when we come through the healing, we no longer do that. We're able to handle new experiences and this moment and future experiences differently. When we have self-love, we show up differently. So learn from the past, but don't keep flogging yourself, masculines. Allow for this growth to come in. And, if you need to ask for forgiveness or communicate certain things, so be it. Unhook from that. But changed behavior is the greatest apology, and this is a humbling motion. What can we see that is true empowerment? When we come through that humbling motion, we can let go of all of that stuff and we can be truly empowered. But it is a period of releasing yourself from those roles where you keep playing out the disintegration. You can jump off the shame, guilt hamster wheel, masculines, and begin to really start, leading your life in the way that feels truly honoring to you. And the feminines, Temperance and 10 of Cups. So this is grounding the impossible, I just heard. So, you know, believing that when the healing comes in, you can have better than you could ever imagine from a slightly less healed perspective. This is why we're not meant to like get attached to outcome, because as we heal, the outcome that we can access is vastly more beautiful than what we could have imagined yesterday from a lesser point of healing. And so just keep with this ever unfolding temperance process where we keep leveling up in every moment, where new wondrous potentials keep opening up. We're not limiting ourselves by what we thought was possible yesterday. We continue to transcend those dimensions and bring in presence, kindness, love in every given moment. What can we see on the sacral chakra? The High Priestess and happiness. So be here now, be in the happiness, be still and know, anchor that in. What are the masculines getting? Coming out of, wow, 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, both in the inverse, but coming out of separation mentality and into equal give and take. Lord of material success. So I don't have anything if I don't have you, is what I heard the masculines saying about the feminines here. So coming out of separation, masculines, you know that if you do nothing and you're just quiet, that your feminine is part and parcel of your happiness. Like, you are so aligned with your feminine. Your life is not going to feel as complete without that particular person giving and receiving with you and coming out of this separation. On the sacral chakra, you don't have to flog yourself. Again, I'm getting that. You don't have to deprive yourself. You don't have to withhold. You know, you don't have to isolate. You don't have to protect your feminine from yourself. You know, now that the coast is clear, now that you're stepping into leadership of your own life, maturity, you don't have to stay for any reason in this isolation, segregation, separation mentality. This is saying that it's okay for you to accept and to acknowledge that alignment with your feminine is your happiness, is part of your holistic happiness. What can we see for the feminines? I literally just heard, you don't have to go shout it from the rooftops, but right now in real time, your masculine is realizing the time is now. And so you didn't hear it from me, feminines, but yeah, you don't have to do anything. Your masculine is absolutely realizing that they deserve this love. And the time is now. The time is now on the sacral chakra. So, you know, this is also a sacral chakra reboot, a sexual recalibration, an energetic sexual recalibration here, where things are balanced out and we can trust ourselves and our impulses and our chemistry, and that it's safe to connect this way, is what I'm getting. Masculines, if there's nothing left to, you know, process or heal or see, and you're now just getting the message that it's time to celebrate these things with your feminine, that you truly aren't bound by fear of what others would think anymore, because you understand energy and how people grow and how people experience things. Yeah, what do you have to lose? This is so beautiful. And on the root chakra, I'm running out of daylight. Root chakra, ending the burden and acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. In the inverse. So there are some burdens that each of us can continue to eliminate. We are masters. We can tell the difference between the things that we can affect and the things that we cannot. And we do have the wisdom to tell the difference. Let's see how the masculines are dealing with this. Wow, the High Priestess for the 3rd time. The higher self and 7 of orbs. So this is saying that you and your feminine can continue off leveling the burden together, that you can team up here. And Queen of Pentacles, that's the wifey card. So this card showing up, this means about the home, about partnership. This is your cue to, you know, really see what you need to do just within your own accountability, and what is now time to tackle. You don't have to go it alone. Your feminine is here to, you know, be in the physical. It's just a matter of you accepting or seeing the timing that is right for you to come in here and help address things together. So these are all in the inverse. That means I want to turn them in the upright. That means you can accept that your feminine can help you with any burden that you've got going, and the two of you can continue to offload this together in the physical. This is life partner time qualification. This is you realizing it is now finally better to come together than to stay, you know, going it alone. And what do we get for the feminines? Oh, wow. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. So there is a beautiful foundation that's been laid to eliminate codependency. So the coast is clear. Feminines, bravo. You are not going to lose yourself in relationship anymore. There is enough of a foundation here where it warrants being able to, this is a happy, healthy home. Live together, marry, collaborate. I mean, this is a vote of confidence. The cards are basically saying it's only one thought away from acknowledging that we've arrived at this, that it's available here. Let's get one advice for the masculines. What do the masculines need to know about being at this way over here? Presence. The energy of presence supports our ability to focus our full attention and stay in the here and now. So you've had to learn certain things, masculines, and now the time is affording you this presence. Your attention has been pulled so many directions. Your feminine's attention has been pulled in so many directions. It's coming into being able to now be focused on each other and this connection. What else can we see for the feminines? Empowerment. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely. So full attention, fully and completely, uniting us with others in deep trust that we're all connected through the same source. So full attention, showing up fully, uniting, connected to source. Beautiful. So presence and empowerment. I'm getting really that for the two, it's time to be empowered together, and that there is more empowerment coming together now than solo. Okay, incredible. Many blessings. Bye for now.